Hello, hello. So, firstly, thank you so much to Dan and the Tech Southwest team for not only having me here, but also bringing us all together. I think even in the past 2 weeks, AI has been crazy. It's been insane. Things are happening so quickly, and getting people together to talk about it is so important. So, thank you so much, Dan and the team, for facilitating this. Couldn't be more important and a more important time. So, I'm going to do something potentially really stupid, which is predicting the future, because actually nobody can do it. But based on years that I've been, working with businesses now, so just a bit of background on me and the team at 50 Minds. We are an AI and automation consultancy and development company. So we help businesses with everything from that initial stage in coming up with an AI strategy and all the way through to implementing AI in their business. But everything that I've learned in doing that and all the research that I've been doing and weekends spent researching and probably not doing things that normal people my age do, I've eventually collated all of my thoughts in where I think businesses are going in the next 5 years or so. So I've got this idea of what this end vision looks like, which is very crazy when I actually say it out loud. And I thought, well, that's all well and good knowing what businesses look like and what the business landscape looks like in the next 5 years. But businesses actually want to know how to get there. How do we get from our current state to to that future? So to begin with, we're going to look at professional services because they're probably, I think most people would agree, the first at risk from AI, the first at risk of change. Change is going to hit them very hard because most of the work is done on the computer. Robotics and all of that will catch up a bit later. But my core thesis is that the destination that we're heading towards is autonomous enterprises, which are essentially organizations that run with very minimal human intervention. And I was completely sober whilst writing this as well, just to confirm. But unlike what we've seen before, where you can kind of catch up reasonably quickly, right, we'll get a website, that's fine. We'll just bring a specialist and we'll get a website. The gap with AI is compounding so fast. So the businesses that are thinking about it now and were thinking about it last year, they're the ones that are really going to be flying with this. But now's the time to implement. And in 4 steps, I will walk you through how we go from the foundation of where businesses are now, how that moves to automation, to AI workflows, and then eventually to full autonomy. So this is the current state of most businesses in this country. Systems are a mess and data's in silos. So I think this stat sums it up pretty well. That 81% of IT leaders say that data silos are inhibiting their digital transformation efforts. That's a huge problem for most businesses. So bringing this data together, making it clean, putting it on systems that actually can talk to each other is definitely going to be the first step for most businesses. Now, luckily, I was saying earlier in the workshop to those who were there, is that most of us here are lucky enough to be small businesses. So we don't have to turn that oil tanker. We can get our data in order pretty damn quickly. Some of those bigger enterprises, it's going to be one hell of a struggle. So that's the first step is sorting out this data, this foundation. Because ultimately, AI works on data. And this is my vision. A living code base. So organizations all running off of code. So all of the governance is all encoded within some sort of code base that the business runs upon. And humans are there to be that overseer, that executive, overseeing all the agents. When I look at myself in 5 years, I'm sitting at a desk with like 3 dashboards of what all of my agents are doing, and I'm just watching them, like eating, maybe having a cup of coffee, having a couple of bickies, just watching what all of my agents are doing and tweaking it every now and again just to make sure that they're on track doing the right kind of thing. That's what I'm seeing. Kira, One of my employees is in the room and I've just said that. So yeah, we've got these agents working 24/7 around the clock. And actually, I think if I said that maybe like a month ago, people have called me crazy. But I think even just in the past couple of weeks, quite a lot more people believe me now on that. So this is the steps for most businesses. It will be strategic alignment, so making sure that your strategy is in place, getting the house in order as such, getting ready, getting the data ready, automating those manual processes. Then you're bringing AI in, for certain specific processes. And then we're bringing these AIs together so they're collaborating. That's the steps that I think we're taking in the next sort of 5 years. So when it comes to really what needs to be done with data, data at this first sort of level of defining your AI strategy, etc. So defining your objectives, what do we want out of this? How do we create this strategy over the next few years? Breaking down the data silos, because agents need to get into this information. If it's sat on somebody's local machine, very hard. You need the data to be available for these AI agents to reach it. And then making sure it's clean and well governed. Then you're looking at automating. So actually, this is where the ROI starts to come in for businesses. Data is quite boring. They don't really see any immediate ROI. Whereas now we're bringing in automation. CFO is super happy now. He's like, oh, thank God that wasn't a matter. 70% are seeing a reduction in processing errors. 73% of IT leaders report that automation cuts process times by half, and 60% of automation initiatives achieve positive ROI within 12 months. Worth doing. One thing that I think isn't mentioned enough when it comes to automation is eliminating as much of the human handoff as possible, which I feel is maybe less of a common opinion. A lot of people still want that control. Whereas, not gonna lie, we're the problem. When it comes to automation, it's all very logic based, and the less of a problematic human that can be involved, the better. And I think that's what I think largely about my life, actually. And then we're looking at bringing in AI. So this is where AI is getting good at doing specific tasks. We're bringing it in, we're looking at processes, and we're thinking, okay, where does AI sit within this task? How can we automate the process in a way that it happens in the background and AI is doing it? I was saying earlier in the workshop, there's sort of two types of automation. It's that co-pilot, that back and forth, and there's the AI does it and we review it. So usually we'll go from us doing it to us working with AI to do it, to then AI doing it, we review it, then to eventually AI doing it, and maybe we don't review it. And this is what we're working towards. Now, this is where people start to think, oh, this is a bit crazy, but actually, from the steps we've gone, it's not that crazy. You're just kind of joining up the agents. So, multi-agent systems, all of these agents that you've kind of got going, they're talking to each other now. Cute. Digital governance. This one's an interesting one. So, I think businesses will be going in a way that all of their rules, all of their ethics, their guidelines, the way things are run, will be encoded in this digital code base. So agents are operating within certain bounds. There's risk boundaries that trigger certain actions, etc. All of your governance will be encoded within a code base. Pretty cool. And then the goal is that it's a company that continuously learns and adapts via continuous feedback loop. So it's an ever improving company of loads of agents, and you're sat there on your chair just making sure that they're all doing their jobs properly. And what does that mean for humans? Well, I think a bit more time spent on the beach, probably, but largely we're moving away from this sort of cognitive labor, this current environment, what we're doing, and we're moving to direction, looking at strategic direction. We're actually going to like go back out and talk to people again, which I'm not sure how I feel about that, but whatever. And also creative vision, and most importantly, the legal anchor. Annoying. But AI can't sign contracts yet. So currently, everything that AI does, we're completely liable for. So that's quite a scary thought when you've got things running in the background, especially if you're not approving the output at the end. So that's one thing just to be very considerate about. It'll probably change within 5 years, let's be honest, maybe 3 years. The AI will have some sort of liability. But for the time being, AI can't sign contracts. So the human leader still bears the responsibility. As I've got 1 minute, I'll skip past this one. Essentially, saying set guardrails, have a strategy. Don't get the human fully out of the loop yet. Keep your data secure. Make sure that it's aligned to everything that you actually want it to be doing. Would you be like a proud dad at this agent, or would you be like, no, that's a horrible, really nasty email. You shouldn't have sent that. And make sure that it's traceable, especially from a legal perspective. Make sure that you have logs of everything that it's doing. Tell your people. Do you know what? People love it when you automate their stuff. They really do. People are overstressed and overworked. Actually, 89% of employees said that they had higher job satisfaction once a lot of their work was automated. So a common misconception, but people really do like it when you automate their work. They're not that scared. So I'll leave you with this, a checklist. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. This phase 3, you save it in your camera roll and just maybe remind yourself to come back to it in a couple of years, because quite crazy stuff. But definitely these first sort of phases should be looking at definitely now. I'll let you all take. Guys, stop taking photos of me. I'm embarrassed. But there's one thing to take away. Start building the foundations now. And if there's two things to take away, thank you very much to Tech Southwest for having us here today, and keep doing amazing things like this. We all really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah.